Good morning, students. Today we are going to see Unit 2 poem The Worm. It is written by Thomas Gisborne. First, we are going to see warming up means pre-reading activities. Activity number 1. Worms play a very important role in maintaining ecological balance. They are friends of farmers. Form groups and discuss the significance of worms in the above two roles. Worms are loosen the soil. They bring up fertile soil. Worms turn into organic garbage, and organic garbage turns into organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers provide proteins to soil. And protein content soil is very useful for agriculture. Therefore, worms play very important role in maintaining ecological balance and they are friends of farmers. Activity number 2. Think and write down how the following creatures can be useful. First one is dragonfly. Dragonfly eats mosquitoes and flies, and it controls unwanted insects. Second one is spider. Spider keeps insect population under control. Third one is ants. Ants turn and aerate the soil. Ants help in seed dispersal. Fourth one is honeybees. Honeybees provide honey as well as honeybees help in pollination. Fifth one is earthworms. Earthworms are loosen the soil as well as they turn organic garbage into fertilizer. Activity number 3. Little creatures in nature can also be your teachers. Think and write what we can learn from the following. We can learn from bees organization, hard work and self-sacrifice. Second creature is ants. We can learn from ants teamwork, hard work and discipline. Third creature, spiders. We can learn from spiders patience and perseverance. Next creatures, caterpillars. We can learn from caterpillars patience and acceptance of change. Activity number 4. Breeding worms to use them to convert organic waste into fertilizer is called vermiculture or vermicomposting. Students, you have to find out more information about vermiculture and vermicompost by own. Now I would like to read poem loudly. Students, you must listen it very carefully. Poem The Worm. Turn, turn thy hasty foot aside, nor crush that helpless worm. The frame thy scornful looks deride, required a god to form, the common lord of all that move, from whom thy being flowed, a portion of his boundless love on that poor worm bestowed. The sun, the moon, the stars he made, to all his creatures free, and spreads over earth the grassy blade, for worms as well as thee. Let them enjoy their little day, their lowly bliss received. Oh, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not give. The central idea of the poem is respect every creature, big or small, for each has their own role to play in this universe. Tone of the poem. This poem has serious and thought-provoking tone. Archaic words. In this poem, the poet has used some archaic words. Words such as thy means your, being means life, bestowed means gifted, thee means you, though means you, canst means can. Now we are going to see words and meanings from the poem. Hasty means hurried, scornful means expressing hatred, deride means dislike, thy being means your existence, boundless means unlimited, bestowed means given, lowly bliss means simple pleasures. Now let's learn some important points or detailed explanation of the poem. The title of the poem is The Worm. What is meant by the worm? Worm means any of a number of creeping invertebrate animals with long, slender, soft bodies and no limbs. In this poem, the poet urges us to remember that every creature on this earth is created by God. We must respect every creature, whether it is big or small, and not take away a life which we cannot give them. Let's go through lines. Turn, turn thy hasty foot aside. To turn. Turn means to move. Hasty. Hasty means hurried. Thy. Thy, it is archaic means old English word. New word is your. First line is the example of alliteration and repetition. Why it is alliteration? Because initial sound T is repeated, whereas it is repetition as well. Why it is repetition? Because word turn is repeated. Second line, nor crush that helpless worm. It is the exclamation figure of speech because sudden feelings are expressed from this line. And at last there is exclamation mark. In these two lines, the poet tells the reader who is in hurry to turn his foot aside so that he does not crush the helpless worm. Third line, the frame thy scornful looks deride. Thy, it is an archaic word. Thy means your. Scornful. Scornful means expressing hatred. Deride. Deride means express contempt or dislike. Required a god to form. Required, it is also archaic word. The new word is required, but spelling is different. R-E-Q-U-I-R-E-D. It means instead of apostrophe there is E. In the last two lines, the poet tells that the reader may be filled with scorn. Scorn means hatred, and hatred for the worm, but it was created by God. The frame thy scornful looks deride. It is the example of tautology because scornful and deride, these two words have same meaning. As far as poet's opinion is concerned that all kinds of worms are very important for ecological balance. Worms play a very important role in maintaining ecological balance. Therefore, God has created them. Look at the first line. Turn, turn thy hasty foot aside. It is the example of apostrophe. Apostrophe is a figure of speech where the poet directly addresses someone who is absent or something that is abstract. Rhyme and rhythm of the first stanza. The rhyme scheme of the first stanza is A, B, A, B. The last words of the first and third line and the second and fourth line of every stanza rhyme. Rhythm is smooth. Rhyming words aside, deride, worm, form. Let's learn second stanza. The common Lord of all that move, from whom thy being flowed. Thy is archaic word, new word is ever. Being is also archaic word, being means life. And third, flowed is also archaic word, new word is flowed, but spelling is different, F-L-O-W-E-D. It means instead of apostrophe there is E. A portion of his boundless love. His, H is given capital here because his is used for God. Therefore, H is given capital here. On that poor worm bestowed. Bestowed, it is also archaic word. New word is gifted or given as a gift. The meaning of this stanza is the same God who made human beings and all other things, that Mu has also given a portion of his unlimited love to the poor worm. It means God is common, who made human beings as well as insects or worms. God has given all things to human beings as well as to worms. God has given his boundless love, means unlimited love, for human beings as well as poor worms equally. First line, the common Lord of all that move, it is the example of alliteration because initial sound T is repeated. Second line of this stanza is the example of an alliteration because initial sound F is repeated. Last line, on that poor worm bestowed, it is the example of an alliteration because the word order is not given grammatically correct. The correct word order is that bestowed on poor worm. Rhyming words are move, love, flowed, bestowed. Rhyme scheme is CD, CD. Let's understand third stanza. The sun, the moon, the stars he made, to all his creatures free. Here, his H is given capital because his is used for God. And spreads over earth the grassy blade. Over, it is an archaic word. Instead of apostrophe, there is V, O-V-E-R, over. For worms as well as thee. Thee is an archaic word, means old English word. New word is you. The meaning of this stanza is God has given the sun, the moon and the stars free to all the creatures he created. It means whatever God has created, God has given to all creatures. The grass that grow over the earth was made for worms as well as for human beings. It means the grass which is on the earth, it is for human beings as well as worms. It means God has created everything equally for everyone, though they are worms or human beings. First line of this stanza, the sun, the moon, the stars he made to all his creatures free. It is the example of inversion because word order is not given grammatically correct. The correct order is he made free the sun, the moon, the stars to all his creatures. Rhyming words from this stanza are made, blade, free, thee. Rhyme scheme is EF, EF. Let's understand last stanza. Let them enjoy their little day, their lowly bliss received. Oh, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not give. Here in this stanza, the poet has used some archaic words like though. Though means you. Canst. Canst means can. The meaning of this stanza is the poet urges or appeals or requested to the readers to allow the worms to enjoy their brief life with its humble pleasure. The poet tells us not to take away the life of worms, which we cannot give them. It means we don't have right to take away their life, because that life we cannot give them. Worms also have right to live life like a human being, because God has created equally same things for all human beings as well as all kinds of worms, or those are created on the earth. First line, let them enjoy their little day. It is the example of apostrophe, as well as I do not lightly take away. It is also the example of an apostrophe. Rhyming words are day, away, received, give. Rhyme scheme is GH. This poem gives message live and let live. In this way, we have seen detailed explanation of the poem. Now I would like to give some activities in assignment. Activity number 1, simple factual. Sentence number 1, the other creatures of God that are mentioned in the poem dash. 2, the thought in the last 2 lines is that dash. Activity number 2, complex factual. Answer the following question. Question is, why does the poet appeal to us to respect the life of worms? Activity number 3, poetic device. Pick out the examples of inversion from the poem. Students, you must read the poem very carefully once or twice and then try to solve the given activities in your classwork. Thank you.